I don't think it'll be an exaggeration to say that's what keeps me going. That it's a Shlichus. I hope to be getting a nachas ruach to the Mishaleach. And that's what keeps me alive. If it was a personal agenda, I might have petered out already, Okay, been there, reached a certain level and time to retire. But I think it's safe to say that it's the mission, the Shlichus. Because man, I'm a Ken. David just gives me the koyach, and people still want to hear me sing. Hineni.
If you've been enjoying this podcast, please like and subscribe so that others can enjoy it as well. In addition, if you've benefited in any way from a Among Chassidim podcast and would like to give something back, you can do so today at derher.org/donate. I'm Yossi Kamen. Welcome to Among Chassidim by Derher, an ongoing farbrengen about life as a Chossid, our vibrant connection with the Rebbe, and inspired living shaped by the way he teaches us each and every day. This episode is dedicated to Nishmas Harav Sadia ben Rav Mordechai Olav Shalom Dahan and the Refuah Shlema for Chana Bas Nechamed Dina by Shaul and Shendi Dahan. Shalom Aleichem, Rav Avram, how are you?
Aleichem Shalom, Baruch Hashem.
Okay, thank you so much for making the time out of your very busy schedule to do this.
Thank you for the invite. I made it to the Derher. What's left?
Okay, I know you're a fan, so makes sense.
Absolutely.
So I think that just to frame what this conversation, Baruch Hashem, I don't think you're new to talking to people and being out there, but we might focus on things that are not focused on other conversations that you have with other people.
Okay.
So that's my intention.
Good. Bring it on.
Okay. So generally, the podcast is called Among Chassidim, and what we're really doing is talking to different Chassidim from all different types and different stripes. In that, I feel that you're very unique in the sense that you're a Chassid and you're in a position.
Alamden.
Exactly.
Yeah, go on.
And you're in a position that other people are not. So, just in order to Lamana say that, maybe I'll ask you a question that has to do just in chronological order of your life. Just that might make things simple. How's that? Okay. So I obviously know that you grew up here. Kanziva, Crown Heights, by the Rebbe. And most people, I mean, you were born, is it a secret what year you were born?
What year?
Yeah.
Is it important?
The decade, just tell me the decade.
I was born after the Frick Rebbe already changed given.
Okay, so the Yuds, the Chafs, the Lamas. I mean, this is something like that. So this is. I mean, it's. I don't know if it's unique, but I don't know how many people here are around that grew up. I think you grew up on President Street, right?
Correct. That was second stop.
Oh, second stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what I know, and you can fill me in.
Okay.
I do know, the first thing I know about you is that the building that you lived in, 1414, President Street, 1418 is the next one.
Correct.
Obviously, that's a famous building because the Rebbe's mother, Rebbe Tzachana, lived there. And I believe there was some interaction. Maybe you can tell me about it.
It's well known that we were neighbors with the Rebbe's mother, and we knew exactly when the Rebbe would come every day to see his mother, and I would stand outside and sing, and the Rebbe would do that to me. So that's the whole story. That's it. End of conversation.
So you're talking about this was like a very often that this would happen?
Probably, yeah. Not every day, I don't remember, but it was often. And then I had the Chossid to sing for the Rebbe in her house.
So what was that?
My mother, Aleha Shalom, would go visit sometimes. I don't know how that got arranged, and she would say to me, "Zing epis." I guess she knew that my family is a singing family because she would hear this midas from our apartment.
So you lived in 1414, she lived in 1418?
Correct.
So you could hear from in front?
Yeah, exactly. When she was outside, she would hear Shabbos, and she very much enjoyed hearing this midrash. So she knew that we were singing family. And she would say to me, sing. So I was taught, I don't remember exactly because I was 4 years old. So I would sing from behind the curtain because I was a little bit shy. And she very much enjoyed. That was my big schos to sing for the Rebbetzin Chana.
Do you remember what you sang?
Let's see, I think it was Tanya or Adarabbe. I'm not sure. I probably sang for Ratzta. What did I sing? I mean, from Babich and Nigen.
There's a few stories with the Rebbetzin, with the Rebbe's mother, with Nagunim.
Yeah, Dahainu.
First of all, I don't know if it's public, but there's a recording of that people say is her singing and Nagunim, I think, which are her father's Nagunim, Meir Shleimi Anafsky's Nagunim, and others, I think, as well.
Uh-huh.
And there's a few stories, like she would ask Chassidim what nigun did the Rebbe teach, on Simchas Torah. She would ask, I think she interacted with people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She would say,
she was a Vavina, a Negina.
Yeah, that's what I understood, yeah.
Then, of course, it's her bracha that accompanies me till this very day. She told Rabbi Weinberg that, remember, I don't know the exact Lashon, but he has a future in being Mesameach Klal Yisrael.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Now you know.
Okay, so...
Now you know the whole story.
You heard about that B'Shas Maisa, or this is later?
I heard that from the daughter of Reb Mendel Marozov, who was there B'Shas Maisa. She was standing and talking, the Rebbe was standing and talking to Rabbi Weinberg, Yossel Weinberg. And she told him, is that dort von jenem Fenster kommt schönes Miris, und dort ist Avraham. I think she called me Avraham, and he will have a future, Mitzvah Shem, in Negina.
Wow, okay. So it's a bracha from the Rebbe's mother.
Correct.
Was there something with our Rebbetzin?
All that I know is that I was told that in the car, Chesed Halberstam would play the cassettes for her in the car, and she very much liked Tatenu. Babachenigen, obviously. And the lyrics that I wrote about describing the Ava that Hashem has for every Yid, according to the Baal Shem Tov, Ben Yochid, etc. And then he printed it. It's written in a book that one Erev Rosh Hashanah, before she ben Shlichus, she was singing this nigun, Tatenu.
And that's on one of the first albums.
That was on the third album.
Okay, so besides the singing, I'm curious to, first of all, I've noticed throughout the years I've been watching videos of the Rebbe.
Yeah, that's nice.
That I see you, not only by Fabringens, but like sometimes in the weekday, and especially the later years, and Alf and the Beis, I was saying Shlichus all the time. You're part of the people. Am I correct that sometimes you stood like in the front near the Aron Kodesh? Is that something accurate that I think I remember?
Could be. I didn't have a Makom Kavua during those.
Yeah, those Shlichus. Yeah, but I
think
I saw you more than once in that spot.
I mean, I live in Crown Heights. So when there was a Sikha or Fabringen, I was there.
Right.
So what's the Chiddush? But Zachinu.
What's the Chiddush? If every single person in Crown Heights was there by every single thing.
Unless they were busy working. I mean, if there was
right.
we'd get a beeper and we'd run to 770.
Right. And when you were a kid in Crown Heights, you went to Alateira? Where did you attend?
All my life,
the whole time. I understand that your family didn't, like your father, didn't come from Lubavitch, right?
No. Both Zaydes were not connected to Chabad in any way. In the Heim, in the Shtetl. Coming to America, my father met the Rashag actually in Tashkent. I don't know how much of a bond they had, but something clicked. When my parents came to America, the Rashag offered him a job to come work in Temchet Mimim on Bedford Avenue, Bedford and Dean. And he worked there for 45 years. But he kept his minhagim, his levush, his nusach, the streimel, the bekische. He was a belujev, bobiv, chassidim. So I'm a combination of Chabad and Chagas.
So my question is, your father, like he never officially made a switch. It's just that he's here. Like how does that work?
He was definitely a Chossid, but he didn't change his but all his kids he gave to the Rebbe.
Right. So
my parents gave to the Rebbe.
So how did he decide to send his kids to the Lubavitcher Meisters?
I'll have to ask him.
I'll try.
Yeah. Ashkocha Protis. I think they tried for a year in other yeshivas, didn't work out, and then Chabad became the permanent address.
So there was no like transition, just that the kids,
yeah, pretty much
took on everything.
Yeah,
and they all went to Al-Torah. It's important.
They all went to Al-Torah.
Even though your father worked in Tefchatim.
Yep, all went to Al-Torah in the beginning. Yeah, maybe then it moved over to Ocean. Where was it? I'm not sure, but it's all Al-Torah at the beginning for sure, and they're all shluchim.
Right. So my question for you is, but like being around 770, so it was something that you and your brothers acquired on your own. Like your father wasn't there every February, and
no,
yeah,
no, yes, so, this was a self-trained army.
So how old are you when you started doing that?
I was born into it. I had no adjusting.
So the Freeman brothers were just
maybe at the beginning they had a little, but it didn't last too long. So it was a very easy adjustment.
Right.
Like it wasn't after like 10 years of being there that they moved over. It was like, I think it was maybe a year that they tried in a different yeshiva, and it didn't work. So that was it. It was a quick adjustment.
Did your father have your parents had yichidus?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
You remember it?
With me was my bar mitzvah. That was the one and only yichidus that I had.
What happened then?
The Rebbe asked me about my pilpul, and I got a little blunget, and he helped me out. He was very nice to me, and that was the only yichidus I had. But my other brothers and sisters, they had yichidus and everything.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So. I think what I noticed, before we get to the music part, let me just think a little more. So, and you were in New York the whole time in yeshivas?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, till we went for 2 years to New Haven. That was already Shlichus.
Your Shlichus in New Haven. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the way through.
So. Fine. So I think that what I noticed as someone growing up consuming some of your material.
Consuming is a good word. Okay.
Yeah.
Reinnehmen in the previous. Okay. Consuming.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that the wrong word? I don't know.
That's a good word.
It's a good word. Okay. So what I noticed is, and I read this also. What I noticed is that the themes, especially of the early albums for sure, specifically the Mashiach themes, but a lot of them, for example, the one you just mentioned about Tatinu, that the Baal Shem Tov says, there is a Ben Yachid that is born to parents, is a Knusam, right? So these are things that the Rebbe said hundreds of times. And I feel like in the messaging in your music, especially the English songs, were very much connected to what the Rebbe was speaking.
I am very pleased to hear that you got that you figured that out. Because I basically based all my songs on what I heard from the Rebbe. All my songs. I mean, the English or the Yiddish, where I had a chance to say what I'm feeling, not a pasuk. Basically, what I heard from the Rebbe. No Jew was left behind was clearly from the Rebbe.
Kananas Agabi Ha'anak, the giant shoulders.
That too, giant shoulders. Goodbye Golas, time is now. Achtos, all these themes were things I heard from the Rebbe. Basically, that was my go-to.
So my question is, was that for you was that an intentional thing? I guess the question is.
It's very intentional.
Yeah, I guess the question: how was it for you? I'm sure it wasn't simple for you. it wasn't a typical yeshiva bacher, especially in those times, things to do. The singing. The singing that you started
clearly.
to do.
That's why I changed my name.
Was that hard for you?
It was very hard. It was uncharted territory.
Well, you started off in charted territory. Weren't you in a choir?
Oh, that was kosher. That was fine. That was, that was with Eli Lipsker.
That's what me and you have in common, that we were both in Eli Lipsker's choir.
You were?
I made it.
Oh,
probably probably the end of the...
Very nice. Oh, look at that. We can say we were in Eli Lipsker's choir.
I told to my kids, myself and Avraham Fried were in Eli Lipsker's
Nice.
choir.
I like that. So you're a Baal Menagen. You have a chush in the ginna.
Something, I hope so, maybe.
Okay, good.
When I was in Eli Lipsker, they were only singing, we would be only saying the Gunnim.
Only in the Gunnim.
You too also? For all these albums that he made.
Only in the Gunnim. My favorite
What's that record? There's a solo of
my
you.
My famous solo, Tzamilach and Nafshi, that was in Minnesota.
But there's another solo of you. That's not Eli Lipsker? What choir is that?
On his albums, I had solos.
Right, and that's not in the Gunnim.
No, those were his songs.
Oh, so he composed that song, Eliyahu Hanavi?
He composed a lot of songs.
Really?
So those are his songs. I think the 2-3 albums that he put out, it's his songs.
Yishash.
Yismechu Hashamayim, Ekem Chayenu, Vrovonov. He had a lot of songs. He had some good
So
stuff.
that's separate from the choir?
That was the choir, was concerts, Chabad concerts. That was all Chabad Nigunim.
Right, that's
His
right.
albums were his songs. 2 separate.
And you were a soloist on that?
I was. Ellie discovered me.
So I didn't realize that he composed those songs.
Yeah.
And then some of the songs we sing are songs that he sang on Chayach. Like we sing,
That's him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
That's how I learned the song.
Mm.
There's a lot of nuschais to that niggin.
Yeah.
So like I do the Eli Lipsker nusach.
Mm-hmm. Probably he's a good mocker.
You know the story with him with the Rebbe.
What was the Maisa?
You weren't the first one in Lubavitch. The way I heard the story was that he was basically
Remind me.
he was leaving Seder Yeshiva. He's from Eretz Yisrael.
Right.
You can't send him to learn, right? You can't. That he was leaving Seder and going to get music lessons. Like
Did Rebbe paid for it?
Yeah. Then I think for not singing, for
accordion,
whichever
playing,
instrument he was playing. And then Hala found out about it and they wanted to throw him out of Yeshiva. And I don't know exactly the context. Those years the Rebbe had Yechidus Van Hala every month. So it could be it was then. The Rebbe said to not only not to throw him out, the Rebbe asked how was he paying for it. And then the Rebbe, no, it's not the story.
I'm amazed.
Yeah. And then the Rebbe paid for the music lessons. He's another good example of a guy that, I mean, he's not the Mendel Futterfass, right? Okay, we mentioned him before. I mean, he's Eli Lipsker, right? But what do you mean? He's who's making the Nigunim, who's doing the choir, who's doing the Chayach, who's playing by every chasana, who's playing by every rally.
The rallies.
Yeah. Did you sing in front of the Rebbe ever?
Only as a little kid, coming to visit his mother.
Right.
Never in the later years. No, never worked out. But
although I saw a picture of you
amazing.
when Rosenberg had the Tzilva Zemer, the choir.
Yeah, the Gershel Bracha.
Yeah, you're getting Gershel Bracha that time.
Really?
I believe.
I went every time to get Gershel Bracha. I have a video actually of me getting the bottle.
Yeah, Memches.
Memches.
The whole that Simchas Torah. It's a very freilich Kesha Bracha. That Kesha Bracha. It's like a hemshech of.
I have a clear video of it.
I think that's when Need Kabir Allah. I think it was that one.
Tatzke and other.
Tatzkes is another guy. Another. And that the Rebbe wanted to sing. The Rebbe asked. The
violin player who the Rebbe told to play the violin. Look, the Rebbe was very...
the Rebbe asked to sing Dafke, not Lubavitcher Nigunim. They wanted the Gruzinin Nigunim and the Russian Nigunim, the Chadaita. They wanted the Gruzinin, and the Rebbe said to put it on the Chayach. Those three Sfaradish Nigunim.
Yeah.
I read somewhere
the Rebbe had such a brilliant approach to things. Imagine squashing Lipsker added so much Nagina to Chabad. He has a whole series of Nagunim. He plays on the piano and
He's saying the whole Sefer Nagunim from the notes.
The whole Sefer, he did the whole thing?
I think so, yeah. That's what it is. It's the whole. He's saying Sefer Nagunim.
What a treasure.
Among Chassidim is brought to you by Chassidische Der Herr. We live in a chaotic world. A world where for us Chassidim is a seinu, lei ra'inu. We do not have the ability to hear and see the Rebbe on a daily basis. Yet we know that the Rebbe is very much with us, and the Chassidus Chabad is alive and thriving more than ever before. One needs to only tap into it. Chassidische Der Herr provides you and your family with the tools necessary to tap into all of this. Whether it's the monthly magazine, the way it all began, whether it's Der Herr books, Der Herr online content, and so much more. Men, women, and children throughout the world benefit and use these tools on a daily basis. Whether it's children enjoying the children's magazine that comes along with the regular Der Herr, or enjoying the children's podcast, whether it's Bachrim in yeshivas receiving the Der Herr, whether it's girls in high schools enjoying Der Herr club in their local high school. People all over the world and from all walks of life enjoy and utilize these tools and take advantage of it. If you're not already subscribed to the Herr Monthly Magazine, do so today at derher.org. That's derher.org. Der Herr is a dynamic organization which is committed to continue providing these tools, grow on a constant basis, and do all that we can to help this effort. Baruch Hashem, it takes a lot of resources and finances to make this all happen. You can be part of Der Herr through your financial support as well, through visiting our website derher.org, or through contacting us to setting up a meeting. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, but as I got older, singing was not a very popular thing to do. Vela in a choir is one thing, but to be a solo singer was. And but somehow, some way, I decided to go ahead with it. They just gave me this machshava, and that's why I changed from Friedman to Fried. So nobody should know, because I never wanted to be Nizgal. I wanted to be a tzaddik nister,
right.
For a few months, no one knew who was this guy Fried, who Sanaya Zinger. Until I had to reveal my true identity. But the name, Baruch Hashem, was Matzliach, so I stuck with it.
1 second, but before that, you were, besides Ali Lipsker, I know of another thing that you did in Lubavitch.
Yeah.
You're on the Chayach.
That's true.
You have a solo.
Visha Amda. I was in the choir for many years, and that during those, but I was able to get one solo.
Maybe you could tell me a little bit about what it was to record in the Chayach.
I don't have that much of a recollection. It was, some adult choir, and we went into a studio and we sang.
Who was doing it then?
I don't remember. What was it, Silverman's? I don't remember who he was even conducting. I don't remember.
But who was the Lubavitcher that was it Mesh Talshevsky?
It was Talshevsky was involved, and Eli Lipsker. Those were the two, I think. Those were the two. But you remind me of a cute story I heard from Velvel Pasternak. He was conducting some of the choirs, some of the albums, and he writes in his book that he was telling Reb Shmuel Zalmanov that on this and this day we're going to go into a studio with the younger light, we're going to record, and I'm the conductor. You watch me. When we sing, I show you when we start, when we finish, when we pause, when we breathe. So Shmuel smiled and said, Reb Velvel, I'm very happy to hear that you're going to conduct us, but don't take it to heart. But when you're going to be conducting, I'm not looking at you. Won't be looking at you. He says, why not? He says, when we sing with our eyes closed. Das ist Chassidische choir.
Yeah.
Conductor, wir singt mit der Egen vermacht.
You heard this from him?
So, he writes it in his book, yeah.
Oh, I saw some other write-up. He has a book? Okay, I saw a write-up from, I think it was from him. There's a whole write-up of, I think it's a transcript of a talk that he gave. He describes different things like this.
Oh, yeah?
I think the first time they recorded, they're about to start, it's like, you can't start. Someone pulled out a bottle of mashke. If you stop singing, you have to say L'chaim. It's a verbringen, you know.
Even better, good, even better. So you're dealing with real professional choirs,
Right?
Conductor. I could probably venture a guess that as when you hear the recording stuck, you hear that they're singing with their eyes closed because it's not this professional tight and so perfect. Es ist Chassidische Verbringen. Man singt. That's what we had to grow up with.
Yeah.
That's what we had. I was able to put out 4 Chabad albums after that, but that was based on the Chayach.
The concept.
About Havenigen. I heard that from, the Bronstein, from the Chayach. You want to hear an interesting story? A year or 2 ago, I was invited to Varshavah Brochus in Williamsburg. And the guy from the choir says to me, people like, I get the Chabadske nigen. A tiefe nigen. I said, was lässt du the Poltava nigen? He said, Poltava nigen. He said, man singt das in Satmer jeden Tag. It's very nicht Chassidic. I said, what? Poltava nigen? That was the best compliment I ever got. So nicht Chassidic, Poltava nigen.
Yeah.
I said, that's pretty amazing. They introduced me, said, you see this guy? He sings it at every chasana. So it's not a chiddush anymore.
The Poltava nigen is not a freidige nigen. It's like
he said he wants a tifer. They love a gitte Chabadske nigen. Dafke tief. I said, Poltava, what could be better? Poltava's really old news.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay.
It took time for these songs to get in, but Baruch Hashem, Chabad Nigunim are now on the top. The Chassidic Olam, in my concerts, I always put in a Chabad medley. Place gets up. It's just there's something holy and freilich about it.
You see by chasanas that when people play other nigunim, whatever, other songs, the Chassidic crowds like to have only nigunim and the others don't. The pile, they always have a nigun in there. I mean, you can see it's a different vibe.
I agree.
I had a mashpia once told me what's the difference between a Chassidic nigun and not. This is not written anywhere, but you see it b'muchesh that non-Chassidic nigunim or Gaisha, maybe saying Gaisha nigunim, make you want to dance with yourself. Chassidic nigunim make you want to dance with other people.
That's good. I like that.
And you can actually see that. Like I've since you told me that, I've watched that. You see, like they're singing all the modern songs. It's very hard to dance with other people. And then the Chassidic nigunim,
I like that.
You get into a circle, your hand in the shoulders or whatever it is.
I like that. I once gave a hakdara that some music is for your body, the prosta music, and some music you feel that it's touching your soul. But this is a good. I
have to ask him if he's a mucker for such a thing, or this is his sociological.
He's the mucker. If it works, then that's. But do they have Ovdas, the best mucker?
So maybe I'm jumping around, but I'm going to remember where I was holding. So you did 4 albums of Nigun Chabad, right? In my estimation,
I hope to do more. Yeah.
Okay. In my estimation, because I remember when you came out with them, I feel. I mean, today everyone sings Lubavitcher Nigunim in all Kreisen. I feel that part of what popularized them in the Welt was your albums. Is that something that you?
Kotointi. I love hearing that. That's the best compliment.
Okay, good. So this ties into what we were holding. So I believe, side with the Nigun Chabad and side with the messaging in your singing, once you were doing it, maybe you were uncomfortable starting, but you did it. But I think that, a Lubavitcher Chossid knows that everything's a Shlichus, and a Chossid macht das Svive, and everything like that. And I really feel like you took that to heart. And that was part of the mission.
I don't think it'll be an exaggeration to say that's what keeps me going. That it's a Shlichus. I hope to be getting a nachas ruach to the Mishaleach. And that's what keeps me alive. If it was a personal agenda, I might have petered out already, Okay, been there, reached a certain level and time to retire. But I think it's safe to say that it's the mission, the Shlichus. Because man, I'm a Ken. Rebbe just gives me the koyach, and people still want to hear me sing. Hineni.
So how do you today So, I mean, then you were doing the live messaging from the Rebbe's Fabringens. How do you feel like today you're being Mamala, the Rebbe Shlichus? I guess there's two crowds. There's, and in the last few years, you've been very involved with people outside of that are not yet Shema Torah Mitzvah. You're also dealing with other guys in the
the duets, the Israeli duets.
Yeah, so like, how is that? What are the two?
It's part of it. It's all part of it. To bridge the gap through music with others than myself, which has worked wonderfully, Baruch Hashem. Look, whatever we have from the Rebbe we have it. Ad Bias HaMashiach. So we have his guidelines, we have his feelings about subjects, how he thinks about things, what his take is, So we have enough material to keep going ad Bias HaMashiach.
Mm-hmm.
What are the topics today? Same topics. Still screaming ad Masai. Mashiach is still a popular topic, although it's becoming a little more painful about what's taking so long.
You're saying when you came out with The Time Is Now.
Yeah, it was very...
That was supposed to be
that's it.
The last album.
That's it, exactly. No Jew. Why The Time Is Not even no Jew? We're talking already 45 years later, Kimat. It's a long time to scream ad Masai. But we'll continue till we bring the house down. Right.
No, I'm saying even for myself as a Lubavitcher Chossid, in my house there wasn't only Nechayach. I have to admit, there's actually a story. Actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say stories from people without getting the details right, without asking them first. But I know Rabbi Yisrael Darren, who we had on the podcast a few episodes ago.
Nice.
And I hope I get corrected if I'm saying it wrong, but apparently Rabbi Chadikov told him the shtub soll sein a freilicher. Or maybe he told his wife. I don't know. I have to find out. The shtub soll sein a freilicher shtub, a happy house. So he recommended one of the ways to do that is to play music in the house, and he said lav dafka nechayach.
Ooh, really?
So I asked him. Rabbi Darren's son Yossi, what did you? So what was it? He says, "What do you mean? Avraham Fried, Merchem David." Nice. That's what it was.
Beautiful.
So I'm saying that as a kid, so I grew up. I was born before Gimel Tammuz, but my formative years were afterwards. So the way the Rebbe was talking about Mashiach was. Yeah, but it was fresh in people's minds. Part of the way I was exposed to that in my personal experience was through listening to. That's what I had in the house. All those albums that you're talking about.
It's funny because when
my mother didn't like the musical arrangements on The Time Is Now.
Oh yeah,
but
interesting. You have to interview her. Why she didn't like that?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's funny because when I give a bracha to Chassan Kala, I'll say to them, your house should be filled with, Ava, V'yachva, Sholem, V'reyus, and good music. Very important.
Right.
So, a freiliche stub is a wonderful ingredient that beats being a Mother Shcheda in the house, that's for sure.
Right. And I did see that there were some isyachsos from the Rebbe to your actual career. Like I last night, I went on Jem's website on the Living Archive for all the photos, and I saw a picture of you, which I never saw before, handing the Rebbe the album.
A cassette.
The cassette, yeah, the tape, yeah. Do you remember what the Rebbe said then? Because it looks like you're saying something to the Rebbe.
I probably have it written down somewhere. I'm actually surprised I spoke, because I never said a word to the Rebbe. But I guess someone encouraged me to give the Rebbe the new cassette and say, this is the new album. What he said about Ad Rebbe, I have to look up. I have a lot of answers from the Rebbe.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
About what?
Verschiedene Sachen.
What can you share?
The trips, whether it was... we're talking now in Chodesh Elul.
Mm-hmm.
The Rebbe told me once when I had concerts in Chodesh Elul, I notified the Rebbe. The Rebbe said, Betach yidaber b'chol mokim al devar melech basada.
Translates?
Surely you will mention at every concert the concept of the king is in the field in the month of Elul. I thought the Rebbe says in in Likutei Torah.
So that Bechlal, you wrote to the Rebbe, like your itinerary, you're doing this, you're doing that,
Every
you're coming
step.
out the album.
Every step of the way.
And what are the answers?
Before and after. I have a lot of different
I should have asked you to bring them with you.
different answers. So Elul was here's an example. So the Rebbe gave me a Shlichus.
Yeah.
To mention Vela Basada, Rebbe Kanzer Totaka the last few weeks, Baruch Hashem, in Eretz Yisrael, wherever I've been, in London and in Australia, Baruch Hashem, Vela Basada was on the program.
So I assumed that these type of things that you do was something that you took on as a pashtus to do. I didn't realize that you actually have heroes from the Rebbe.
Yes, that's
doing
one.
These things.
The Pushka is another hero.
So what is it?
The Rebbe once gave me $1 and said to me, I told the Rebbe that I had a job that night, and the Rebbe said, this is $1 faden singen before you sing for tzedakah, and then another $1 als noch ein singen als hateda la HaKadosh Baruch Hu the singen gewend behatzlacha. Second $1 to give after the concert as a thank you to Hashem for the hatzlacha. So for the last 30 plus years, I traveled with a pushka. I'm not sure how many years I started doing it on stage. I would do it, off stage, before and after. It wasn't the hijrah to do it on stage. But I think someone said to me, why don't you do it in public? Let people see that you're doing, you're connected to Hashem before and after each concert, saying thank you. And it was the hijrah of the Rebbe. So now, thank you Hashem is very popular. Thanks to that, thank you Hashem, guys. Tavi Aleichem Bracha. But the Rebbe's chiddush was thank you with a mitzvah.
Right.
It wasn't just saying thank you Hashem. It was thank you Hashem with a ma'aseh gashmi, with giving tzedakah. And people know that Fried comes to a concert with a yellow pushka. It's like my, the Rebbe gave me this unique privilege, approach.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rebbe found a way to take a young bacher at the time. I started when I was a bacher, and find ways to keep me connected to him. Whether it was the first hijrah that I got from the Rebbe on the first album was to print on it not to play on Shabbos and Yom Tov. And that was very important to him. So he found the first way to give me a hijrah. I remember I cried when I first got the answer, because I said the Rebbe took from his time to answer a young bacher putting out an album, busy with other things. The Rebbe took the time to answer me, and he answered me a lot of times since then. And actually I have an interesting story. So sometimes before going on a long tour, on a trip, besides going to the air, like on the airplane, I'll send a request for a bracha b'machshava. Rebbe, I'm on the plane now. I'm heading out on a long trip. Like a long trip. Yeah, a long trip, and bracha, and give me a sign that you're with me and you're benching me, and this is going to be good. And I'll usually add a little nekuda that how am I going to know if I had a sign from the Rebbe? If someone on this trip tells me a story about you, this will be the best siman. So my first stop was in London. I had a bar mitzvah in London. And it was already at the end of the bar mitzvah. People were leaving on the way out. Okay, I figured, nothing happened on this particular night. Maybe the next night or whatever, the other trips. It's not a long trip to be on the road. On the way out, one guy comes over to me, very well-dressed guy, and he says to me, "Oh, Mr. Fried, I'm going to tell you something. You know that I don't look like a chassid, right? But I want you to know that sometimes I'll get on a plane, I'll fly to JFK, I'll go to the oil, and fly right back to London. See, I don't look like a chassid, but I go to the Rebbe, I come right back. I don't even go out of the oil. Oh, then he says, I have a story for you. I said, yeah, what story? And he says, my father is a businessman, travels a lot. And recently he was on a flight, and the turbulence, Pashat, scared the wits out of him, because it was severe turbulence. And he was like really, really scared. And his glasses fell down, and he puts his hand under the seat to get his glasses, and he feels something under his seat. He pulls it out. It's a Tfilas HaDerech with a picture of the Rebbe on it. Now they keep it at the airport.
The airport, yeah.
So when he found that under his seat on a Lufthansa flight, someplace over Europe, a picture of the Rebbe under his seat, and it calmed him down. And Baruch Hashem, they landed safely. They survived. But that picture calmed him down. That story he tells me. So I gave him a big hug and I said, thank you very much for sharing this story. I said, the Rebbe is with me. Amazing story.
Yeah.
Under his seat on a plane to find a card of Tils Haderech with the Rebbe. Pilaploim. So I got my sign. V'kahai Gavna, it's happened a few times. So we know that we're connected.
Yeah.
L'chaim.
And that's very special that you're connecting every trip with the Rebbe.
You gotta stay connected.
And I know also you did certain things like part of the Shlichus in Lubavitch in a certain period was after the fall of communism. And I know you did a bunch of concerts over there. And,
yeah. That was a very memorable couple of concerts there. In Lvov and in Minsk and Pinsk, I think. And I remember singing for a little kid from Pripyat with Komet Aleph. Oh, those were some good memories. And Hollywood was very special. I'm going to Russia. It was like Mesiras Nefesh going to.
What years are you talking about? Like Nun?
Oh, yeah. I think the early Nuns, I think. Yeah. And by the way, now I have a new mitzvah that I'm on. Recently, this young man in Florida came out with a story that happened with him. The Chossid Nochem Litkowski from Florida.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
He came from Russia with his mother as a little boy, and then he grew older. And he would come to the Rebbe for dollars and for bringing his Bracha, and then he stopped coming because he got a job in construction. And he was always dirty. He didn't feel it. One time he came Sunday, and Rebbe gives him the $1, and he says, wo bist du? And he says to the Rebbe, ich bin da. I guess he meant, I live here, I'm in the neighborhood. The Rebbe said, was kommst du nicht? Why don't you come? So he said, Rebbe, es passt nicht. Ich hab schmutzige Kleider, the Arbeit, I can't come. I have a job in construction, my clothes are dirty, I can't come. The Rebbe looked at him and said, komm wie du bist, aber komm. I saw the story. Come as you are, but just come. And the story gave me such an amazing line. We know that the Rebbe looks past our exterior. But to hear from the Rebbe, Kum wie du bist, aber kum, it's such a hopeful line. We know you're not perfect, but I want to see you anyway. I relish, I enjoy just seeing you. I can look past your shortcomings. So when I read the story, on the spot is mir eingefallen the Tnua of Koil Bayar. I komm wie du bist, aber komm wie du bist, aber komm. And Reb Nachum tells me that this is making waves all over the world, giving people chizuk that we know you're not perfect, but come anyway. Hashem wants to see us. The Rebbe wants to see us. And it's just a beautiful message.
So why is this story hatte the Numen? Why?
I think it touched everybody. I think everybody, you can't help but be touched with such a story because it's so what's the right word? It's so hopeful. It's so positive. It's so beautiful that you want to try to be perfect? Try. But till you get there, don't let that hold you back. Don't let your exterior or your even spiritual shortcomings hold you back, because deep down, you're good.
I think it's connected.
Deep down, you're a good guy.
I think it's connected to what you said about the first answer you got from the Rebbe. About
Shabbos and Yom Tov.
Shabbos and Yom Tov. I think what you said was that there was like a kidduv that the Rebbe showed you to
100%,
to what you're doing. I mean, between the lines, I'm reading personal, that you were questioning about what you're doing, and the Rebbe was saying, "Okay, you're part of this. We're going to give you a job." And
the heroes were so. I mean, first of all, the connection that keeps you connected, but this idea of Rebbe always found positive in everything. That was. But for a young guy who was going into singing, at that time singing was not so popular. I was still a bacher in yeshiva. Shocking. And Rebbe found a way to... Rebbe didn't say, what? What are you doing? Sitz in Leden. Mach sich narrisch. No. And then for years and years and years and years, before every concert, after concert, albums, what I'm doing, what I'm singing about, what's the theme, what's the songs, and Shliach Mitzvah. I have from the Rebbe dollars, Australian dollars, British dollars, Israeli shekels.
What do you mean the
Rebbe
Rebbe?
said Shliach Mitzvah. The Rebbe would send out Shliach Mitzvah. I would notify the Rebbe that I'm heading out on a trip, and he would send out the currency where I was going.
That happened often?
I have a pack of
Okay, so
shekels and
I'm glad we're having this conversation because these are all chidushim for me at least. Good, I don't know for others.
Off their head, the chidushim.
So it's mamish that to me that's really the Rebbe's been mishtatev literally in all your nesiyas. It's like a
yes, very humbling. Absolutely.
So I did notice.
Alleen kan het gar nicht done. So
yeah, I noticed throughout from different. I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but there are other singers also, and I've noticed
that's a chiddush. Yeah,
and I've noticed that it has a place by the Rebbe, this concept of the hashpah that singers have, whether it's the Chassidic that the Rebbe gave to Avraham David or the Pimentas. I mean, the Pimentas have a whole long answer from the Rebbe about music, which is printed in the Chossid. And there's a few with Avraham and David. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I feel like sometimes it's a little more begully because you're coming as a Chossid, and a Chossid doesn't make any noise in front of the Rebbe. But Avraham David, you see, there's more. He's talking and the Rebbe's answering, and you see that the Rebbe's really miyaker the whole thing.
I think the Rebbe believes in Hashgacha Pratis. So if you have a gift, that's clear Hashgacha Pratis. If you can use it for, to bring you closer, inspire them with your matana, of course he was for it. Absolutely.
Right. So today, what is this whole thing that I see that you're interacting with other people, other singers that are not Shemitah Mitzvah, and it looks to me like the way you're doing it is, besides just singing with them and collaborating with them, it's also there's a inyan of afatzas hayadus that's being accomplished.
No question. This is mostly in Eretz Yisrael, where we have a lot of concerts there, Baruch Hashem, and my good friends out there, my team out there, came up with this idea that instead of having another Chassidic singer at your concerts, what would be the Chiddush? Let's get some Israeli singers. And maybe those who are not even, Shema Tira Mitzvahs. And the reaction has been amazing. People are telling me, what's about a Kiddush Hashem? And then, of course, the last one was with Aviv Geffen, who was a total, coming from the other side, totally. And people said, what a great Kiddush Hashem. I think that's the koyach of Negina, that it brings people together. If you sing together, then you could at least have an opening to start talking together. And clearly they're inspired. They come, they see the Shuma Elam. I think it's very inspiring for them. I think it reminds them of, who they really are. And someplace deep down, it gets a kitzel and then a neshama. Kann ich wissen? Last year, Purim, I met a guy in Los Angeles. He said to me, your song Yaakov, I broke off was very much in love with Shlichus, and I broke it off. Now I'm married to a Jewish girl because of that song.
Really?
Klor. Klor de Purim.
It's amazing.
That's
like he heard it, or that song?
No, he heard it.
Clinked.
He heard it, and it wasn't easy. We were ready to get married.
Het gesehen, Aces steht auf dem Weg. I want to go backwards to 770, backwards in time. So I think this is going to be released after Tishrei, but the listeners and the viewers are going to have to forgive me because I'm holding Tishrei.
Okay.
And Rosh Hashanah, Simchas Torah with the Rebbe. Is there something that you want to share from Tishrei with the Rebbe? Whether it's Tkiyas, whether it's Simchas Torah, whether it's Bechlal, or it's a specific event, or something that you want to share.
Yeah. What can I share with you about Tishrei? I was zeicher to be by Tkiyas. I was zeicher to be by Hakofis, the Ila. Simchas Torah, Lamed Ches, right? Lamed Ches, right? And they have the stroke.
The heart attack, Lamed Ches.
Lamed Ches. They had the heart attack. So my place was up against the Mizrach wall. So I could see the Rebbe from the side. Right? The Rebbe would stand facing Mizrach and I would...
So your Mizrach on the other side of the Aron Kodesh.
Yes, I was on top of the Aron Kodesh.
Okay, so I was onto something. I told you before. I saw in the videos on top of the Aron Kodesh.
That wasn't Simchas Torah.
No, but I saw something. A sich in the front.
By Farengens, I stood at the other side of the Rebbe, on the left side, up on the bleachers on the other side. The Meirab wall.
You stood, but the bleachers, the big bleachers.
Right. Mm-hmm. So during Hakofis, Lamed Ches, I'm looking at the Rebbe, obviously. I'm looking, and it was during a break, during one of they were being machabed, people for Sefer Torah. And I said to the guy behind me, the Rebbe looks so white. Look at the Rebbe's face. Weiß wie der Wand. He's so pale. That's when the whole thing happened. The Rebbe sat down. The whole balagan broke loose. They started screaming, everybody out of shul. They have to break the windows. The Rebbe needs ear. Get out of shul. Get out of shul. So I ran out of shul, and I ran around the back of 770. The windows were still there, colorful windows. And I think that too, the windows were broken. I peeked out through the window. The Rebbe was walking out of the shul. He's holding his siddur. There were some people still in shul who did not leave the shul, even though they were told to leave. And they were singing.
They were the Yetzim and Akal.
That was whatever. And the Rebbe was making with his hand, but down here. Didn't raise up his hand. He was making with his hand to the song, even though he was experiencing, as we know that it was a severe heart attack. But he was making with his hand down. Couldn't. So I remember clearly. And then the next day, some 30 of us decided Lavken Sumayel. That was a different one.
A different group?
Different group.
I think Rebbe went that night, maybe. Right.
Maybe. We went the next day. Next night, we went for Hakofis, Queens. Rabbi Hechtschul, so lang gesund.
So you're talking about Simchas Torah by Shmini
Atzeres? The next night, by day, yeah.
Like Talucha time?
Yeah.
You walked
exactly.
to the aisle?
Yeah. First we walked to Rabbi Hechtschul to do Hakofis. Then we walked from there to the oil. I was the only kohen in the... Today, it was locked. The gate was locked. It wasn't like today. Open all the time. So we all climbed over the gate. I was the last one in, so I climbed into the circle, jumped into a circle. We walked to the oil and we davened. And we walked back. It was a very long walk.
I did it once.
The Belt Parkway is endless when you walk in it.
I once walked it. It took me 4 hours.
Oh, okay. I remember coming to Eastern Parkway, some of the guys had to stop by every bench. They sat down at every bench because their feet were swollen. And then as we got closer, we started running to hear what's going on. And then when the first report we got was the Rebbe's feeling better. And the Rebbe said, Shida v'zimra, something.
I think that was after Chav Zainad, the Shida v'zimra.
Something, the singing is giving...
the Rebbe said
the singing is giving koyach, the simcha.
Because there was a Fabringen downstairs. Usually the Rebbe Fabrings at the end of Yom Tov.
Yeah.
This
is in the morning.
Are you talking about in the morning?
In the morning,
Oh,
as we came back, people dancing in the shul.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the label said that the singing is giving gesund, something like that. So we felt better that we got good report after our walk to the oil. And I think somebody clocked it after that. Like between 20 and 30 miles we walked, something like that. So that was a memorable Simchas Torah. What else? I remember one time I decided to be brave and stand in the washing machine or in the dryer right in front of the beam of Tkiyas. Usually I'm up on bleachers and I'm going to try to stand down there. That was the smoke coming up from the crowd. First of all, you couldn't put your sitter out like this to say anything because there's no room. So you're like sitting like this, and the steam was coming up. It was like it was like being in a dryer. But Baruch Hashem, I survived, and the Tkiyas by the Rebbe was heavenly, amazing.
I understand that even there's other shuls in Crown Heights at Lubavitch's with Davin and whether it was to be mechazik it, they shouldn't close or whatever because people lived there. But I think all these shuls would stop at Tkiyas and everyone came to 770 for the Rebbe's Tkiyas.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? Lekach Gesh Lebracha. I could mention to you that it was Simchas Torah Tafshin Memches. Kershel Bracha. Keragil, I walked by the Rebbe to get to Kershel Bracha. It usually takes a second, And I got my Kershel Bracha and I'm ready to move on. And I see I thought I saw the Rebbe's hand, something moving in my direction. I look back and the Rebbe standing with a bottle. And for a moment I froze. I said, Rebbe, you sure this is for me? I didn't say a word. But it took a second. I said, Rebbe, you sure this is for me? The Rebbe didn't take it back. And he gave me the bottle. And that too, to this day, gives me tremendous chizuk that...
usually the Rebbe gives out the bottles. Yeah, it's for Shlichim or other Haskanim.
The bottle meant for Shlichim. So that was my moment of the Rebbe said, I'm a Shliach. Without saying a word.
And you were a Bacher then, right?
I was a Bacher. I remember walking away and I was like, what? The Rebbe gave me a bottle? I was like blown away. Didn't say a word. Hatzlacha, Negina, nothing. Not a word. But I took it to mean that it was a Shnas Hakel. Right. So the Rebbe gave me a bottle. Every concert is a Hakel. So take it, and I took it to every concert. I gave it out to people.
I feel like Memches is like the beginning when you took off, right? Is that accurate?
Took off? What do you mean?
I'm saying like the concerts and it's around that time?
I started the Mem Aleph.
Oh, okay. So
it was already a couple of years that I was singing. But anything particular happened in Memches that took off? Gedenk nicht. Anyway, but that was a moment that, of course, I cherish to this day. They were giving me a bottle. It's pretty amazing.
So what's the message for those? I mean, there's many people that are shluchim and mashpim and the Kli Chodesh and everything like that, but there are those that are not and have a different profession. What's the message that you have based on what you experience from the Rebbe, and utilizing it as a shlichus and as a fatzas mayanis and as a fatzas yadus? Like what is the?
I'm not following your question.
Saying what is something that? What is this message that the Rebbe was giving you that
with the bottle?
No, in general to utilize your keshreinis.
Yeah.
To fulfill the tafkid of Dira B'Tachtenim.
Yeah.
What's your message for other people that are in a similar
situation?
Everyone
has a talent. Everyone has a talent. As we know the famous saying, if you could teach Aleph, teach Aleph. Everyone has a talent. And don't play humble that, I'm not so talented, I don't have what to offer. Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a gift that you could use to be Mekadev another Yid. Whatever that might be, you know what you have. And use it. Use it. Don't squander your gift. Chaval. I happen to have a gift, a matana that's global. So that's why I'm talking to you, because I'm a global guy. But every teacher who's not on a global level has the great chus to teach and be mekadev and inspire. That's use your talent. Even though you might not be getting interviewed on the Der Hair on a podcast, but do what you got to do. You have a talent, use it. Otherwise, it's just squandering hashgacha pratis.
Okay. I had a question that I guess is more trivial, but I heard it's connected to the Rebbe. Is your song Rifa'enu, is that connected to the Rebbe? That's not true.
No.
Okay, I need to get that out of the way.
No.
Because I once met Mordechai and David, and I asked him if everyone says that Rashi, his song about Rashi, is something that he heard from the Rebbe. He told me also that's not accurate.
Okay, good. It's good that you verify this stuff because get out there and bet na ganze meise.
Yeah, no. Okay, and you're saying that there's plans to do more Nigun Chabad.
Bezer Hashem. Also,
another thing that another connection with Lubavitch and your singing is that the recording of the Rebbe's Kapitel, Ki Gadol Ata, is also done by you.
Yes. Yeah, that was way back. Yeah, I had the chus to be part of that for a while. Then I decided to retire from that.
You did a few
VAD.
of them?
No, I was on the VAD. I was on the VAD of choosing, and it didn't last too long. But I did get to do Ki Gadol Ata. Yeah, I remember the whole year we sang that nigun. That was our first nigun of the Farbrengens. The Kapitel that was chosen, that was the song for the whole year.
Until I think
some songs were better than others, and they're about to sit, go through. That was it.
I think later in Anaf from the Bays, I think it changed to like Zol Shazayim the Geula.
Yeah, I mean the early years when Talashevsky, Alav Hashalom, would take old Nigunim and put it to the Tripsukim. Those are very popular till today. Those are very popular. B'cha Hashem Chassisi and Ki Elikim Yoshiatzian and the Tranenas Fasa, all these. They worked. They worked. He was a good shatran.
He's the one that always did it?
I think so.
Interesting.
He was Rebbe's Chazen, Baltfila, Menagen, Shtech Tzibur.
He's the one. I'm saying he's always doing Shei Banda, he's always doing...
Yeah, exactly. What a schus.
I spent some time with him too.
Oh, yeah?
He used to drive me to... he used to make a minyan by Michal Teitelbaum.
Right.
So I was one of the boys that would go every day to make a minyan.
Nice, good for you.
He's Flapush.
So did the schus beistehen?
Yeah.
Nice. That now it's already a popular area, but back then...
East Flatbush, yeah.
Back then it was, uncharted territory for Chabad, right?
He was the only one there.
Exactly.
It was the shul and yet a mikveh.
She had there, yeah.
And Meshach Talshevsky would...
I remember that Michal. By Rosenfeld, Molitera, my principal. Rabbi Rosenfeld was not my age. He was quite older than me.
You're talking about Yassel?
Yeah. But I have memories of Elter Chassidim who were nice to me. And Elter Chassidim who didn't say a word to me. But those who did made a very warm impression, in my heart. Rabbi Rosenfeld was one of them. He would call me from time to time and he would say, Avremo, the Chabad Nigunim, you're making it famous in the whole world. Keep it up. I have very few pictures in my office of performances or people. I don't put that on the walls or on. I have a few pictures of Elter Chassidim who were kind to me. One is Rabbi Yotel Roosevelt giving me a big hug and a kush at one of the dinners or something. And then another picture of the Elter Chossid, and I forget his name, Ramotl the Sheikhet, who used to daven in Chevre Shas with Rabbi Gerari. After he would come to my concerts. He was in his 90s. He was a big fan. He would come to my concerts.
We just had a picture of him in the hair. There was.
Oh yeah.
He wrote an article about Mitra Kogan.
Ah.
So in there we had a picture of him in Russia before he came here.
Nice. So the picture of him kissing my hand after a concert. Those are two chassidim I have in my office that are hanging in my office. And Mendel Futterfass was nice to me. He would say Tanya. You know what it means for a young bacher? Have Elter Chossid say, I listen to your music. Precious, priceless. Then those who didn't acknowledge or say a word to me. But those who did,
From what I've heard of the Mendel Futterfass, sounds right.
Oh,
I think he had
very Tanya. So these are people who made an impression, even though they were much older. I mentioned all the Torah, so Rabbi Rosenfeld and Michal. It's nice to be acknowledged by an elder statesman.
Yeah, who are the teachers then in Al-Torah?
My teachers was Rebbe L'chaim Reitblatt, Rabbi Reitzes,
This is Mamish
Rabbi Engel.
This is the beginning. I had Rabbi Engel too.
But much later.
I'm a little younger than you. A few years.
Rabbi Engel, because he taught for many, many years. And he moved to Pittsburgh, right? He moved.
I don't think he's alive.
No, I understand, but he...
Oh, afterwards, yeah, maybe,
after.
Yeah.
Rabbi Vyshetsky, Rabbi... all the... Rabbi Yisrael Friedman was already in the Zal. Pinchas Pinchas. Then... and then in Zal, Rabbi Majeski came along, Rabbi Shlomo Majeski, right from the younger...
He was the younger Mashpim.
The younger Mashpim started Rabbi Galitsky. Yeah, I mean, the cream of the crop.
Yeah. All right, so Eshakech, I think people will have Hana.
I hope so.
From this conversation.
Hope inspire. Kum wie du bist, aber kum. That's the best inspiration.
I don't know, one of the camps this summer, I think on Israel Detroit made a camp song about it as well.
Oh yeah?
So it's entering multiple
good.
forms of Neginah.
Good.
You have something to do with that.
I hope so.
All right, Yashakayach, and I guess we can say, since you're a Shliach, Yarich Yamam Mamlachte, they should be able to do it for a very long time. And I, for one, I was at an event, one of the Meisters made an event that you were singing at. I was blown away by the fact that your voice is aging like fine wine. So,
but the bracha to keep singing for many, many more years, but the subject, the attitude should change. That should be part of your bracha. Instead of singing about Ad Mosai, we should be singing about finally Baruch Haba Melech HaMashiach. The text should change.
And you even have a song already.
I'm ready. We're ready for
to
Mashiach.
go.
We're ready to roll.
Okay.
Ready to go.
It should be taken from Yad Mamish.
Amen. And you're Geula, right? Because what's the chilek between Golus and Geula?
The Aleph. Okay.
In Golus Hertman. Geula is mit der Heden. Mit der Heden. So you should have Atzlacha in your Shlichus. Man soll sicher sein, man soll singen und man soll der Heden singen.
Amen. Amen. Chaim.